Okay, this video is in relation to Pokemon Masters, the gacha game on smartphones. I've been a Pokemon fan since I was probably 4 or 5 years old back in the 90s, and I have played all the games and been a Pokemon fan up until Diamond and Pearl. I got tired of the formula and just fell out of it. Pokemon Masters came out as a alternative to Pokemon Go, which I believe is more true to the Pokemon formula, and I recently got into it. I have paid for gems before so I can unlock Sabrina because she was one of my favorite Pokemon Masters growing up, and I have grinded out the game and supported it since it came out. My biggest current complaint with the game is that there is no player versus player mode, and I believe this is like the only Pokemon game out there with to the Pokemon formula right now that doesn't have player versus player. And I think it's silly, and a lot of people obviously think it would be silly to add player versus player to this game because you would just be fighting Charizard all the time. Because the meta of single player has just revolved around Charizard and Red, because you can just put them on any team and just steamroll through any of the missions or story mode. Outside of single player, there's really not much to do. Co-op mode is the absolute slowest snail's pace of a game that I've ever played, and whenever they gave you the offline option to do it, it runs so much faster that there's literally no reason to play it online. Um, I just think that there's so much to be explored with the game, and the fact that there's only a single player mode doesn't even hinder that there could be a player versus player. Nothing is stopping people from just doing what they would do in another Pokemon game, just collecting their Pokedex data, grinding out their Pokemon, and just enjoying the single player experience. Giving people the option of player versus player would do nothing. It would just give people more options to play the game and more ways to. And if you want to complain about, oh, I don't want to fight Charizard or whatever, then either you don't play it or allow the developers to make balance changes, patches, a median game mode, a ranking system, anything. There is so much more potential for Pokemon Masters to be a much more in-depth and fleshed out game, but apparently the community doesn't think so, but this is just my personal opinion.